Hey friends, how's it going? Today I want to talk about doing stretches before you skate, because eating shit in skateboarding is an inevitability. I've had more than my fair share of falls and slips and bruises and all that. But I do have a secret weapon that helps me prevent injury when I skateboard. And I have a very particular stretch routine that I like to do because it helps me prevent pulled muscles, rolled ankles, twisted shoulders and all that. It really helps. So check this out. There are basically two sets of stretches I like to do. One for the lower body, the legs, and one for the upper body and mostly their arms. Here's why. I mean, obviously the primary thing you do in skateboarding is push and ollie, right? That's gonna be mostly legs. That's gonna be basically the whole rear half of your legs, your hams, your calves, and your quadriceps. So the first stretch I like to do it against a curb, and it stretches two things. This stretch is for the whole back half of my leg right here, and it also helps loosen up my calf and by extension a little bit my ankle. So 15 seconds, and while I do this, I like to take really deep breaths because it helps circulate and it deepens the stretch when you expand your diaphragm. So breathe really deeply when you do this. The next stretch I do is for my quads, because again, these are largely responsible for ollies and, popping the tail, doing kick flips, kicking out, all those kinds of things. Stretch the quads, 15 seconds each. Just maybe hang on to something, or if you can balance. This is also a pretty good balancing exercise, which is so important to skateboarding, so both sides. Then I will once again hit kind of my back, my core, touch my toes, breathe deep, 15 seconds. One more leg exercise. This one's kind of key. This injury happens quite a lot. You land a trick, but your foot slips out and you do one of these. That gets you so hard right here, and it is no fun to pull these muscles. That'll put you out of commission for like 2 weeks to a month, maybe even worse. So, as low as you can go, and just stretch right here. 15 seconds, legs apart. That's good. The last exercise for my legs and feet I like to do is yet another killer in skateboarding, the rolled ankle. You land, you don't quite land something, and your foot kind of like slips off the tail, and you do one of these. Happens to me all the time, but I never get injured, and I like to think partially that's because I stretch my ankle. I do it like this. So basically, I go into a rolled ankle position like this, put very gentle pressure on it, 15 seconds, and that really helps loosen all these tendons, all these muscles, because a rolled ankle, again, if this happens to you and you pull something, you're out of commission. You can't skate. Worst case scenario, you're in a cast, and God forbid, you might actually break your ankle, but this will help reduce the chances of that happening. Finally, we move to the upper body, because the number one thing we do when we fall is we fall on our hands. So if I'm falling off of my board, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna land on my hands. I'm basically, in effect, kind of getting into a push-up position, because the thing I'm trying to prevent desperately is my face meeting the ground. And that is where arms come in. But as you can imagine, if you hit the ground really hard, it's very shocking to the body, and it basically jerks your shoulders back. It's really easy to pull your triceps. So, just a few things to kind of loosen up the shoulders. So, a stretch like this, very nice for the shoulders, because again, don't want to pull the shoulder if I am preventing myself from doing a face plant. And that's about it. There's a few more variants you can do. You can like do one of these. This helps kind of stretch your triceps a little bit. Also, it's nice to do a wrist stretch like this, because again, hyperextension, that can happen easily when I'm falling. and you're done. This takes like less than 5 minutes and is so good to do for your body because it helps prevent injury. And I would rather spend, you know, the 3 to 5 minutes that it takes me to stretch and warm up before I skateboard rather than being out of commission for weeks where I can't skateboard at all because I have a bum leg or I screwed up my arm or my wrist, any one of those. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.